Well, designing something that is very modern when people first see it, but holds its value over time and become a timeless classic is indeed the biggest challenge in what we do. Of course, time will keep moving on and taste will develop further. But when you look at the design for a BMW, for example, good proportions are timeless, and that's something that we've always done. Precision in lines, clarity in surfaces, those are things that we believe in, and with that I think we are able to do designs that are easily understood but have a great depth. So when you live with the design for a little bit longer, you end up discovering more and more, and we believe that that is the key to doing a design that is striking at first when you see it for the first time, but will live for a long time after. Well, BMW's core design philosophy is based on two things, on the perfect combination of elegance and dynamics. To look like it's moving even when it's standing still. Well, as designers, we are always optimistic, so we are always looking forward to the future. We're designing it right now, as a matter of fact. So we believe that as a design team we are going to enter a very interesting phase in the next 10 years. Technology seems to be changing faster now than it did a decade ago. Whether that's in terms of drivetrains, the materials that we use becoming lighter with carbon fiber, or with the connectivity, the connection to the internet, and simply also the way you interact with the vehicle. All these things are changing a lot, and at the moment now when we're launching the new 7 Series, you see in all of these aspects what we are capable of today. When we started the design project of the new 7 Series, the theme that we wanted to express was modern luxury. It's our flagship, so clearly it's a luxury statement, but since we are BMW, it has to be a modern type of luxury. And for us, that means a couple of things. Of course, it means traditional elements like good material quality, build quality, fit and finish, precision, wood and leather, and those kind of things that people expect. But it is also about offering the customer more than he or she expects. And modern luxury to us also has a lot to do with intelligence. And you'll find that throughout the car. The way certain elements are designed, the way you interact with the vehicle, this has a lot to do with intelligence. The new 7 Series is very intelligent. For example, when you look at something as iconic as our grille. It can open and close, and the car will do that on its own, depending on the amount of air that it needs. So even in the iconic grille, we are expressing the intelligence that the car has. The car will take care of this for the customer. So it's technology that is really serving the customer. You can also use gesture control to operate the car, and that's something that not many consumer electronic devices have. And once people play with this, they don't want to stop. The car greets you, welcomes you with a light carpet. Then there is scents that you can configure. And we worked quite a lot on ambient lighting. So even in places where normally in other cars there is no particular element or detail, we looked at every square millimeter of this car and thought about how we could make the overall experience, the time that you spent in this car, a very special one. I felt, or we learned, that luxury has to be authentic and it has to be a complete holistic experience. It cannot just be about exterior or interior geometry. It has to be the whole experience. And so from the beginning, we set about doing that. So the experience already starts outside of the car and should continue inside of the car, and it should be seamless. And we reached, I think, therefore also quite a high level in the execution of what we call modern luxury. We knew that to do a luxury product like the 7 Series, you really had to think hard about it, and we wanted to raise the game in all aspects. So it is not just when you look at it, it's when you touch it, when you interact with it, that it becomes such a special experience. And like I said in the beginning, I think it is a little bit about surprise and delight. It should work easier than you think it does. It should be more comfortable than you think it does. And it should also be able to drive faster than you think it will. And I think the 7 Series delivers on all these counts. It's lighter than you would expect a car of this size to be. Carbon fiber is a material that is still fairly new, let's say, to our toolbox. But after having designed the i3 and the i8 with complete carbon fiber structures, we were not afraid of it, because those cars, I think, show that you have a lot of form freedom that you can do in that kind of material. The 7 Series, of course, is a different story. It's a mix of materials, aluminium, steel, carbon fiber. Well, I would say that the 7 Series, when you talk about the interior, you should probably first get in the back seat, because it really is a very special experience once you're there. I've had the pleasure of being chauffeur driven around Tokyo in the 7 Series today, and it really is a remarkable experience. The thing that I'm very happy about that we managed to do is the ambient lighting that we have on the B pillar. And is operated by touch, because this is an example of something that we came up with, to increase personal well-being or allow the customer to create a personal ambience in the car, which we believe is an important element of luxury, that it's personal or can be personalized. And it is positioned in a place where up until now, I would say there is not too much design going on. So it shows you that truly in this generation of the 7 Series, we looked into every square centimeter to see what we could do special for the customer. The X1, now in the 2nd generation, was of course a runaway success in the 1st generation. So it shows that a lot of our customers like a car to be versatile. Where it's basically a car that you can go anywhere and do anything you want with, and it performs like a BMW. In this generation of the X1 that is now being introduced at the Tokyo Motor Show, I believe we made the car both sportier and more precious inside, let's say, all over. I think all the lines are a little bit more dynamic than in the predecessor model, sharper. And certainly in the interior, I think all the quality of the features, the materials, is at a higher level. And of course, the way you operate the car is also very precise. It really is a very modern BMW. In this generation of the X1, as we usually do, we studied the proportions for quite a while. And actually, I think we managed to give the car an even stronger character just by proportions. The car actually didn't grow in size, but the interior space did. So the new engine and drivetrain layout made that possible. The car got a little bit taller than the predecessor. So yeah, I think we mixed all the ingredients a little bit differently. But it turned into, I believe, an even better proportion for a small SAV. The most exciting design is the one that we're working on right now, because of course we are always working on products for the future. Since the future is always somewhat uncertain, there's a lot that can be discovered. Now I believe we are entering a very interesting phase for the automotive industry, for personal mobility maybe even, where drivetrains are changing, the way you interact with a vehicle is changing, where manufacturing methods change, materials change, and we feel that as a design team we have far greater opportunity now to express what we want than, let's say, 20 years ago. So yeah, I think very interesting times ahead, and the first samples of where it could go we have shown, I think, in the I brand or in the new X1 and the new 7. Well, I love coming to Tokyo. The city is incredibly vibrant, super modern, very cool, clean, sophisticated, I would say. So yes, I was able to spend some time walking the streets of Tokyo, of course also driving around, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up walking around Omotesando, Harajuku area, I get a lot of my inspiration from traveling, from architecture, from fashion or furniture design, and I simply love the attention to detail that you see here in Japan. Well, I would say that the world has become a smaller place, so I think that certainly premium or luxury customers are very savvy. They know what the world looks like, and they've traveled and they've seen all sorts of different places. What it means is that it's good for us actually, because a BMW customer from Tokyo would like a BMW the way it looks also in Munich. Why should it be different? Individual tastes, of course, can differ. For example, color, materials. We tend to offer more and more choice in that field. With the 7 Series, for example, you can configure the car in a very, very luxurious manner through individual, or you can turn it into more of a sporty car with a BMW M Sports package. So what we found out is that luxury, while let's say the basic idea around it becomes universal or global, every person in the world now wants to make a very individual choice, and we have to cater to that. I certainly think that design is going to play an ever important role in the automotive industry. You might think that I would say that, but I think so far the last couple of years it's been moving in that direction more and more. Especially when times are changing, technology is changing. I think the design team then have to turn this technology into something that carries emotion and becomes meaningful to the individual customer. The grille is a very iconic element. The whole front end of the 7 Series is designed to convey presence, but also intelligence. And the grille is a pointing case. It can open and close on its own, depending on the amount of air that the car needs. Right now it's closed, but when the car moves at speed and the engine needs more air, it will open automatically. The car is intelligent enough to do this. The headlamps are done in laser lamp technology. That was first premiered or first seen on the BMW i8, a small production volume car. So this is the first time we see it on a car with a bit more production volume. It allowed us in design to make a very precise, very clean headlamp design. So it starts with LED technology, and then as the highest version it's in laser light. We also designed a new signature in daytime running lamp for these lights. And the lights, that's very important, are connected to the grille. And with that, the car shows a greater amount of width than the predecessor car. Well, all the lines that we have are there to express tension, movement, or power. And on the bonnet, it is mostly the power and the movement that we want to show. Obviously, this kind of car, the 7 Series, has a good performance, strong performance, plenty of power under the hood, and these lines show that. The precision of the lines is also an indication of the production quality that, of course, we are capable of delivering. The side of the new 7 Series is mostly about elegance. So when you look at the roof profile, it's a very fluid profile, and yet when you enter the car you notice you have a lot of space. In the side there is a very reduced form language, only 2 lines really. One that incorporates the door handles, and another one which is highlighted by this chrome element at the bottom. Chrome, of course, traditionally is of decorative nature, but on the 7 Series here, it is not just a decorative element, it's also an air outlet. This takes air out of the front wheel arch. It allows the airflow to get closer to the car quicker, so it improves the overall aerodynamic performance. So it really is a good combination, we believe, of design and function. Our design philosophy at BMW is to get a maximum character expression with the minimum amount of lines. It all happens between the lines, so the surfaces, the light and shadow. And every design element, design detail here is very carefully thought out, and in most cases it combines a function both for the performance of the car as well as for the looks. Another element that I like a lot is the way this door mirror grows out of the chrome line here. So when you do a reduced form language, every detail matters, and that's very much the case for objects of luxury. In the interior of the design of the 7 Series, it was all about allowing the customer to create a very special and personal atmosphere. So if the customer wants a lot of light in, this is possible. We have a very large sunroof here. If the customer wants a lot of privacy, that's also possible. When you drive the car at night, there is a very nice, I think, combination of ambient lightings. The customer can adjust the color, and in the roof, for example, you see a certain texture that only becomes visible at night. So again, we looked at every detail to surprise and delight the customer. Yeah, the team is quite big, based in California, in Shanghai, and in Munich. And for each new car, we do a complete design competition. So the whole team around the world gets switched on and starts thinking about the new car. And then I get the pleasure of looking at hundreds of sketches. So each designer has his or her own style of sketching, and we encourage that. We want our designers to think about the shapes, not about the sketch per se. And it's about creativity, and how they express it is up to them. And typically that makes it all the more interesting. They are all thinking about BMW while they're doing it. So they're not trying to just express their opinion, but also what they think BMW should do for the future. I'm always amazed how much can be interpreted there, how many different opinions you end up seeing then at the end of such a sketch competition. We're looking, of course, for one good exterior design, one good interior design. So it is indeed a competition, and in the end we like to pick one design that we then are going to build. So we want our cars to be recognizable even in the rear view mirror. While they all have a recognizable face, we want each of our cars also day and night to be recognizable as the type of BMW that they are. So in the case of the 7 Series, we sort of redesigned the light signature, I think it's a highly recognizable now for the new 7. I can feel the passion in my team. Last count in my design team, I believe, is somewhere around 650. That's the various types of designers, model makers and engineers that we have. The design team is very passionate about driving, and they all love cars or motorcycles. And they're very much interested in the future, and they know that with their work they can give a shape or a twist to that future that can be meaningful to the customer.